What if I could show you a blueprint that's been working for over 4,000 different businesses that is getting them the highest quality clients that they've ever seen before? Last month, we generated 130,000 leads for 4,500 different businesses. It worked out at about 36 leads per business. Each one of those leads was data rich. We could see exactly what they wanted to achieve, what problems they had, what frustrations they had. In fact, we had a minimum of 18 points of data per lead on average across all of these different leads that we generated last month. So it's an incredible strategy that works. The strategy is working across all sorts of different businesses. So everything B2B services, everything professional services, a couple of consumer products, but that's not the wheelhouse. Mostly it's things like coaching, consulting, helping people with their health, their relationships, their business, their growth, their operations, their finance. So businesses across the whole spectrum, and it's working nice and consistently. A little bit of my background. So I've got a marketing background and I've built multiple businesses over the last 20 years. So in the last 20 years, I've been involved in businesses in Australia, in Singapore, in the UK, in the USA, and Canada. And we've built lots of fast growth businesses. So essentially, I have tried all sorts of things to get leads and to get marketing results and to get sales teams performing. And a few years ago, I discovered this blueprint and it worked incredibly well for me and for my business. And that's when I started sharing it with others, and it kind of took off. Once I started sharing it, lots of people wanted to use this strategy as well. And here we are today with thousands of businesses using this blueprint strategy. Now you might hear thousands of businesses already using it and think, oh, is it saturated? Absolutely not saturated. If you think about something like YouTube channels or books or podcasts as a marketing strategy, literally millions of people are using those strategies to grow their business. This is brand new. This is only a few thousand businesses globally. So you're literally one of the first to apply this blueprint. So let's get into it. What I want to talk to you about today is why people buy. What is it that's going on in people's heads when they're thinking about buying something? And why do people get super excited to buy something? Why does it feel uplifting, energizing, exciting to buy something in some circumstances? So let's unpack it a little bit. Let's talk about what is the DNA of every single sale. Every time anyone buys anything, it always follows these steps. So if we were to zoom inside somebody's head, we would find that there is a few key things that go on in the lead up to a sale. People become clear about their current reality and why it's less than perfect. What's wrong with the current reality? And they start to catalog and list all the things that are not perfect. And that is their current reality. Then they start to imagine what a desired reality would look like. So they start thinking about all the things that would line up if things were perfect. Like what would be the magic wand scenario? If we could wave a magic wand and life was different in some way, this is how it would look, right? So that's the desired reality. And then they start to think about all the reasons they can't just have that. Like what's in the way? What are all the obstacles and criteria? So obstacles are things that block them or prevent them from getting what they want. And criteria are their rules for getting what they want. So it's like it has to cost this much, or it has to be in this time frame, or has to be done in a certain way. So this is the lead up to every sale: the current reality, the desired reality, and the obstacles and criteria. And the more people get clear about these things, the more they experience something called tension. So tension heightens when people have clarity around these three things. Then along comes your business, and your business offers people something called a path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance takes the form of a product or a service, and it takes people from where they are now to where they want to be without hitting the obstacles and the criteria that are in the way. And when people spot a path of least resistance, when they can actually see this is where they are, this is where they want to be, and this is how to get there, and it seems like a really sensible approach, they get super excited, they feel uplifted, and they're ready to buy. So that's almost the philosophical reason about why people buy anything. But what if we could deep dive into a strategy where we can apply that principle into a type of landing page, a type of website that really turns it up a notch? What if we could turn it into a hyper-converting landing page that asks people questions and gets them clear about these things, and then presents your solution or your product as the path of least resistance based upon the answers that they give? What if I could show you a blueprint that's been working for over 4,000 different businesses that is getting them the highest quality clients that they've ever seen before? I would like to introduce you to that blueprint. I want to take you through a short training so that you can apply this idea into a tactic. It's a tactic that is going to bring you leads, clients, and profits, and it's a tactic that you can implement in under an hour. Let's get started. So I want to give you some background. So years ago, I wrote my first book called Key Person of Influence. And to promote the book, we created an online assessment. It was a quiz questionnaire that people could answer 40 questions Based on how they answered those questions, it would give them a report that told them what to improve upon or where they should focus their attention to get a great result. And people loved it. It was super popular. About 90,000 people filled in the questionnaire, and those leads went to my sales team, and the sales team made like $20 million worth of sales really fast. And it was absolutely incredible. So much so that I went and wrote several more books, and each one of those books had an online assessment as well. So what happened is people started asking me the question, how do I build one of these assessments? They seem like they're working really, really well, and absolutely they were. So what I did is I created a blueprint that anyone can use. And the blueprint is really, really simple. In fact, it'll probably seem too simple, but this is the blueprint. There's a few things that you need to have, right? The first thing is a landing page that explains why somebody should take an assessment, right? So it's going to tell people this assessment is going to help you to understand these 3 things, or it's going to help you get closer to these key results. And if you take the assessment, right, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a custom report, and it's going to give you information that's relevant, and it's only a few minutes of your time to take the quiz, right? So all of that is on the landing page. And the call to action here is start the quiz, right? Take the test, answer the questions, something along those lines. And believe it or not, these are like super high converting landing pages. Typical landing page converts under 4%. These convert at over 40%, right, across thousands and thousands of examples. So when people click the first button, take the quiz, the first thing that happens is it pops up and says, well, let's start by giving some information about you. So typically name and email address. So this is the lead capture form. People fill in the basic information about themselves, and then they proceed to the questionnaire. And the questionnaire is typically 10 to 40 questions. Often these are yes or no questions, or yes, no, maybe questions. So they're simple questions. People can fly through them in a matter of minutes, and they answer a series of questions. Now, based upon how they answer those questions, they end up at the dynamic results page. And on the dynamic results page, it changes based upon how they answered the question. So if they answer everything positively and they get a really high score, it's going to say, congratulations, you got a really high score, and here's how to keep up the good work. If they answer all the questions negatively and they get a really low score, it's going to say, oh, we're going to have to improve on all these things, and here's how to improve, and here's how to get started. So it's going to give them a dynamic result. Now, all of this used to take a lot of time and a lot of money to set up. You needed a piece of software for the landing page, you needed a piece of software for the lead capture form, then you needed to code up the questionnaire, and then it got really complicated when it came to the dynamic results page. That was very hard to do, and insanely hard to get dynamic PDF results pages as well. So all of that used to be very, very hard when I first started doing this. But what we've done is we've created some software and plugged it into artificial intelligence. So you can build all of this in about 6 or 7 minutes. You don't even have to prompt the AI. The AI asks you questions about your business, and then it populates all of that into one of these, right? So the first thing I want you to do is just completely understand how the blueprint works so that your brain is tuned into what the strategy is. And then we're going to get into how to tactically implement this using AI. So to start the ball rolling, I want you to think about what questionnaire, quiz, or assessment would fit with your business that your customers would love to fill in and that they would get great value from. I'll give you some examples. So one of the most effective quizzes or questionnaires is, are you ready to blank? Are you ready to blank basically says, are you ready to get this result? Are you ready to run your first marathon? Are you ready to lose weight? Are you ready to grow your business with Facebook ads? Are you ready to set up an account on Instagram? So anything that your customers might want to do, and they're not sure if they're ready to do that, they're not sure if they're going to get great results by doing that, you want to say, take this quiz and find out. So are you ready to run your first marathon? Answer 10 questions and find out. Are you ready to grow your business with Facebook ads? Answer these 14 questions and find out. So let me give you a real life example. There is a dating coach that helps people to get ready for dating and get a better result when they go out dating and meet the right person and say the right things and have the right experiences. So this particular coach set up a quiz. Are you ready to start dating again after a divorce? Right, really specific. And essentially, if you answer a series of questions, it says whether you're dating ready, and it gives you a dating readiness score. So people who are not sure whether they're ready to start dating again can answer 10 questions, and then they can find out, okay, am I ready emotionally? Am I ready with my wardrobe? Am I ready knowing what I'm looking for? Right? All of those kind of things come out and they get surfaced by answering the questions in the quiz. Now, what's beautiful is that when people answer those questions, the dating coach can say, hey, look, we can see that you got a score of 4 out of 10 for confidence and 10 out of 10 for knowing exactly what you want. So we don't have to figure out who you want to meet. We just have to figure out how to improve your self-worth and your confidence. So they know exactly what to zero in on and talk about with that particular client in order to sign them up for dating coaching. So that's an example where this is working in the real world. So I want you to have a think. What would your customers want to do? What would they want to test and see when it comes to this idea of like, are you ready to get this result? Are you ready to do this thing? And that's a great way to get started. You might also want to ask the question, well, why would they trust you? What would you put on the landing page that makes them feel that they should do this because you came up with it? So you might think about 3 things about your history that make you especially trustworthy. You might say that you've had certain results, or you've been in business a certain amount of time. Maybe you've got certain qualifications. Maybe there are some numbers attached to what you do, like how many customers you've worked with. And if that information was presented to a prospect, they would say, wow, okay, if that person knows that, I want to take the quiz. I want to find out what it is that they can help me with. So this is going to basically convince someone that they should start the quiz and that they should answer the questions in order to get that special report that you and your team have created. So that's the first step. Start having a think about that. But now I'm going to show you the easy way to get started using AI. So when we first started implementing this blueprint, it required so much complexity, so much software, and everything had to get coded so it would work together. We had one piece of software for the landing page, and we had a different piece of software for data capture that plugged into a database, and we had another piece of software for the questionnaire and the dynamic content. It was actually very expensive and very time consuming to set these things up in the early days. So what our team did is we built scoreapp.com so that it would be all in one place, super simple and very low cost. So the first thing you need to do is create a scoreapp.com account. And the good news is that you can start with a free account, or you can get an advanced account if you're a bigger business, and there's no contracts. You can switch it off at any time, but it's really simple to test this. So you'll be able to figure out within a matter of days whether this works for you or not. And what we're going to do is we're going to start easy with an AI generated scorecard, and then we're going to build up to a template. And then if you want, you can go down the custom path where you actually get a designer or a developer to really make it all singing, all dancing. So let's go through those steps. First step is to create an AI generated scorecard. And this is only going to take you literally a few minutes to complete this step. It's pretty mind blowing. So if you haven't done so already, create a scoreapp.com account, get set up. And then when you're in the portal, the first thing it will say is create scorecard. So you want to click that button and create a scorecard. And it gives you 3 options as to how to do that. Start from scratch is the most advanced option. That's if you've got a design or development background and you want to do everything custom. Pick a template is a great option. That's where you want to end up. But using the AI setup wizard is where we want to start. That's the first place to get started because it's a few minutes to just be up and running and test whether this works. So use the AI setup wizard. I click get started and it's going to ask me, what do I want to do? Do I want to generate leads? Do I want to qualify existing leads into sales, right? That's if I've already got a database. Or do I want to use this to improve a client result? So maybe I've already got clients and I want to help them to get a better result. Let's go with the most common one, which is getting leads, right? We want to generate new leads. Every business wants to generate new leads. So I click that and it's going to say, what would you like to do? Would you like to have one overall score, a single outcome, or multiple scores? I'm going to keep it really simple and I'm just going to go with a 1 overall scorecard. So how would you describe your business? I'm going to say that I am a business coach. And it'll say, what would you describe as your target audience? Entrepreneurs, startups, executives. I'm going to go with entrepreneurs. And what do you want to help your clients to improve, achieve, or prevent using the scorecard? Now, the AI has actually come up with some great suggestions here. Prevent burnout, enhance leadership skills, increase profitability. Let's go prevent burnout. So I'll go with that one. I hadn't even thought about that, but what a good idea. Pick a concept for the scorecard. Burnout Buster, I like that. Unleash your inner entrepreneur and prevent burnout. The Entrepreneur's Guide to Banishing Burnout. How clever is AI, right? Where does it come up with this stuff? So the Entrepreneur's Guide to Banishing Burnout. I'm just going to put this, not a guide, I'm going to call it the Entrepreneur's Assessment to Banishing. So I'm just going to go here, the Entrepreneur's Assessment to Banishing Burnout. Okay, so I made a little edit, which is quite normal. Okay, so the AI does some thinking, and then it comes up with questions that are relevant to this topic. Are you able to prioritize and delegate tasks effectively? Do you take regular breaks and vacations to recharge? Are you able to maintain a healthy work-life balance? And you can see here that I can edit these. Like, so for example, the term vacations is very US centric. I'm just going to put breaks and holidays because my people are in the UK. So I've just made some edits. Pretty simple to do that. Are you able to set realistic goals? Right, so now I've added all these questions. It's just going to keep giving me suggestions until I want to stop. But let's just start with these questions here. So I click next. I've got 5 questions. I've got 1 concept. And I go create scorecard. So it says hold tight, adding the pages. It's creating a landing page and it's going to write the questions and it's going to do all of that. And it's quite incredible. It says AI amazing. Your scorecard is ready. It's written 563 words. A lot of that's going to be the dynamic content. And it saved you 4 hours worth of creation time. So I go to the dashboard and let's see what it's done. It's created this landing page. So I can go and have a look at that. It's created the quiz questions and the dynamic content. So if I go here and click the build icon, I can start with the questions. I can check that they're all correct. I can edit them if I want to edit them or delete them or add questions that I've thought of myself. I can go to the landing page. And if I click on that, I can see what it created and it's got a nice little image there that it chose. I can change that pretty easily. I can edit the text. If I want, I can add all sorts of other sections here. I can add this little report. I can add a section for a video. Let's say I want to put a video on that landing page, or I could do a new call to action. So I can put that there and I'll have a little call to action down the bottom. Beautiful, got a nice landing page. So I'll save that. Now you don't have to do this. I'm just showing you how to if you want to. And then once you've done that, you can go and have a look at the results page. So the results page, it's created a little speedometer and it's got some content here and it's got dynamic content. If you want, you can use this video and put a link to your own video, or you can delete that and say, get rid of that. All right. So I've removed that section. Instead of having a video, I think instead I want to have a testimonial. I'm going to have some testimonials. And then after the testimonial, I want to have a nice little banner for a report that I'm going to offer people. So I've got all of that nicely there. So I can just save that. There we go. How simple. Took a few minutes. I've now got a burnout prevention scorecard. Maybe one of my clients said to me that they were suffering with burnout. I went back, I created a burnout prevention scorecard, and now I have a way of generating leads. I could promote that on LinkedIn. I could put it on my Twitter. I could do all sorts of things in order to promote that. I could email some people that I know. Nice and simple. It's a really easy thing to do. It's an easy thing to promote. Now, to start with your AI quiz, don't promote it far and wide just yet. Just promote it to a few friends, send an email to a few friends or colleagues, and just get them to take it. See what they think, see if they like it. So what you do is you click publish, and that means it's ready to send. It's going to give you that nice little link. You just copy that link there. And once you've copied the link, you pop that in an email to a few friends and say, I've created this quiz. What do you think? And once they answer the quiz questions, they're going to appear there as a lead. You're actually going to have some leads and you'll have all the data, right? So all the questions that they answer, you'll be able to see how they answered. When multiple people take that, you're also going to have some insights. You're actually going to see how people answer in general. You'll have the aggregate results as well. So you'll start being able to analyze that data yourself and have fun with that. Okay, so how easy was that? It took a few minutes and we've got a live scorecard that people can take, and actually it all works. There's a landing page, there's a questionnaire, there's dynamic results, all of it's ready. So the first thing is just get that set up, take those few minutes, publish it, get the link, send it to a few friends and see what they think. And then once you see how it works and once you get the gist, we're going to go and look at a more advanced option, which is how to use a template to get this really nice. Okay, so hopefully you've had a go at creating an AI scorecard. Super simple, super quick. You've gotten something up and going. That in the world of entrepreneurship is called creating a beta product or an MVP, a minimum viable product or a beta version, something that's just purely designed to test to see how people interact with it. As soon as you can see that this would work, as soon as you get those early signs that people are positive about this, you want to take it up to the next level. So what you want to do is use one of the templates. So once again, we just create scorecard and it presents us with our 3 options. Do we want to start from scratch? No, we don't. Not a designer, not a developer. Pick a template or use the AI setup wizard. So I'm going to pick a template this time. Once I go into pick a template, there's over 50 beautifully designed templates that have been created by professional designers, and they're just ready to customize. So you can really customize any of these that you like the look of. As you go through here, you might say that you really like one of these kind of professional ones or one of these modern ones. You might really like the look of one of these ones that has just a big hero image that is the main feature, or maybe some of these nice little designs where they've got a cartoon. All of these, you just kind of start with an aesthetic. Which aesthetic do you like the best is a great place to start. The other way you might want to think about this is, what is it you do? So we've organized them by topics: health and well-being, business, finance, sales, marketing, property, HR, IT. So if I go into health and well-being, let's have a look at some of the ones here. Do you need a physiotherapist? Discover your true athletic profile. Are you happy? Does it feel like it's time to start a family? How stressful is life? Are you in a good relationship? So we've got all sorts of ones here. Identify your perfect personal trainer. Get inspired to get fit. Wheel of life. Really popular one is this wheel of life. 14 rapid questions to a better, healthier you. So let's pick that one. So you can see here that there's a little book image here or a report image. You can make that anything you want. You just drag and drop an image in there. You'll see that it tells people that they should book a time in your diary. So you just add your Calendly link there. And you can see that it's got all the questions already written. It's got categories already created. So it's ready to go. So let's just do it. Let's see what this looks like. So I use the template and the little logo appears and it says that it's building it. And here we go. Once again, I can go into the build icon and I can see the questions. So it's got all these questions. I might like these. I might want to change them. Do you meditate? I might just change that and say, do you meditate at least 3 times a week? All right, so I can just change that. I could say that there are certain questions that I want to add, right, or delete. So really easy to do that. The next thing, let's have a look at the landing page. So I go and have a look at the landing page and I can see here, really easy to edit. I just click on the text if I want to edit. If I want to edit this image, I can just click on that. There it appears. I just edit that and I can either use free images or I can drop a file on there and away I go. I've got my images that I can change to there. Oh, that's cool. That looks good as well. So I can go back here. I won't save that. I might want to add a section that is all about me, right? So me as a personal trainer or fitness trainer. So I'll just go in here and I'll just click this little plus button, add a section, and I'll just put in, actually I might put in a video where I explain who I am. So I've got this section there. All I have to do is put the video link from YouTube in there, and then I can just edit this and say about me, all right, put my bio in there, and I can finish that, right? So I save that. So I've edited that pretty simply, nice and easy. I can add my logos and my branding, change the colors pretty easily as well. So all of that's nice and simple. We're now working with a template, a little bit more advanced. We understand how the system works now because of the AI setup. So now we can say, all right, well, let's do a more advanced version. This is definitely a version 2. And I can tell you that most of the people who use a template and customize it, they spend maybe an hour to 2 hours doing those customizations. And then that asset lasts for years. That's something that they can use all year round. They can have that as part of their promotions on their emails. They can run ads to it. They can use it with their LinkedIn or their Instagram. All of these different ways that they can use this to turn their general audience into people who are ready to buy. Now remember that most website landing pages that have a lead magnet of any form converted about 4%. So you send 100 people there and 4% of people, 4 out of 100, will take you up on that offer. These assessments, these quizzes, on average, they convert at 45%. Now, I know that sounds really insane, like 11 times better, but it's absolutely wild. People love answering a quiz. Something about a quiz, something about a questionnaire really speaks to people. They love answering these. They want the information. They want the customization. They want the personalized touch. And this offers that to them. So this is just something that people are really responding to. So get yourself set up with a template, have a go, choose one of the templates, make some customizations, and take it to the next level. I'll leave you to it. I'll let you have a play. There's nothing, once again, there's nothing you can do that you can break this with or you can, hurt the system. So get in there and have a play, roll up your sleeves and see how you go customizing a template. Now, if you want to go to the next level, as I've alluded to a few times, you can start from scratch. This is a step that many people take if they're a designer or a coder, developer, if they've got a lot of experience building websites. They might want to just simply start from scratch. And that's totally fine. The system allows for that. If you're an advanced user, if you've got a background doing that sort of stuff, you can do that. And I don't need to explain to you how to do this. You'll already know. You'll be able to just start from scratch, and you'll be the type of person who's super comfortable getting in there, navigating around and figuring it all out. So I'll leave you to that. If you want to start from scratch, or if you want to get your design team and development team to start from scratch, go for that. You can do that as well. And you'll end up with something that's completely unique and just for you. So if you want to try that, by all means, try that as well. That's a great option if you're advanced enough to do that. But for most people, an AI created quiz is going to work just fine. Template is going to work a little bit better, and it's going to look a bit nicer and have your branding. And you're going to be able to generate leads all year round.